This tutorial assumes you have a basic platformer and you want to add a dash mechanic that looks something like this. I'm using my 2022 platformer tutorial as a foundation, links below, but the method should work in most basic platformer setups. Similarly to my ledge grab tutorial and most other player abilities, the simplest way to add a dash is by adding a dash state separate from our player's regular state. That means we'll have code that runs on our player during a dash and code that runs when we're not dashing, and never the two shall meet. So if your player's step event looks something like this, we want to first grab it all and cut it all except for our input, since we use those in every state, then go to our create event and add a function called stateFree. Paste all of that in, then create a variable called state and assign that new function to it. Then go back to your step event and simply type state. Run the game and you'll have exactly what you had before. Congratulations, you just made the basics of a state machine. We can now swap out whatever is in the state variable with whatever logical state we want our player to be in. For more info, check out my state machine primer video, but that's all you need to know right now. Back in that step event, make sure you have some inputs for up and down, and also for your dash, use whatever keys you want. Then in the create event, we want to add can dash to track when we are able to dash. We'll reset it upon touching the ground as an example. We also need a dash distance and dash time. Time is being tracked in frames, distance in pixels. When we're done, you can play with those values and get your dash how you want it. Then in my free state, I want to make it so can dash becomes true when my player touches the floor. In my case, this is really easy. I just do it at the same time as I'm resetting my jump buffer. Then similarly to how I detect a jump input, I check if can dash is true and we're pressing the dash key. If so, we do a bunch of things. Set can dash to false, so we can't just dash again immediately afterwards. Set can jump to 0, so we can't carry our jump buffer to the end of our dash. Work out the direction for our dash based on our directional input. An easy way to get this is to do point direction from 0, 0 to key right minus key left and key down minus key up. Then our dash speed is going to be our distance divided by time. Dash energy is going to track how much of our dash is left to go, and finally we set state to state dash. Now we haven't made a state dash yet, so let's do that. We just make a new function called state dash. We want collisions to work the same way, so we can just copy and paste our collision code from the free state, only removing the section that deals with resetting our can jump and can dash values. Then at the top, where in our free state we would work out where to go by our inputs, we instead just set our speeds to a fixed amount in the direction of the dash. I do this with length dir x and length dir y. At the bottom, we then need a way to end the dash and return to the dash state. So every state will remove our speed, which is the amount we should have traveled that step, from our dash energy. Then we can check if dash energy is less than or equal to 0. If it is, we'll reset our speed so they don't carry over back into the free state, then set our state back to state free. Functionally, that's it. Run the game and you'll be able to dash, but it might be a little bit hard to see or distinguish when you're doing it, which is especially true in my simple rectangle setup. So let's add a little bonus feature and create a little trail effect. I'm going to make a new object called oTrail that does absolutely nothing except decrease its image alpha over time and then destroys itself. Then back in oPlayer's dash state, we can create one each frame using a with statement and instance create depth, using a depth of 1 below our player so they appear beneath them. Inside the with statement, we set its sprite index to match our own sprite index. If you have an animation, you can also set the image index and set the speed to 0 to capture the exact frame you were on. I'll also set a color blend and reduce the image alpha a little bit just to make it stand out. Run this now and you'll see a super simple dash trail effect when you do the dash, and there you have it. There's one small issue with this super basic setup, and that's if you press dash without a direction, you always dash to the right. So for some homework, see if you can work out how to prevent a dash if you're not pressing a direction. Hope that was helpful. If you like what I do, you can subscribe for more GameMaker, more game dev, more everything. If you really like it, you can support its continued existence and help me make more stuff over at patreon.com/SeanJS. Then just like all of these cool kids, you see the videos early, you get source code access, all that good stuff. Either way, thank you so much for being one of the tiny % of people that watch all the way to the end. That helps me out a lot too. So thanks everyone, and I'll catch you all next time.